here in Chinatown, a lot of the population is working class East Asian folks who have immigrated here to work in the country. And the reason why we started the Chinatown Tenants Union all the way back in 2005 is that folks, when they don't have the appropriate language access to their rights and to the law and to other resources, when they're really kind of working day to day and can't afford to pay very much in rent, or are paying proportionally a huge amount of their income in rent, really struggle with housing issues. And the sense of instability that comes from not being sure about your home, not being sure about your rent and your apartment, really, is a form of violence that folks experience. One thing that we've seen really grow in the past 10 years since the Chinatown Tenants Union was founded is the rise of predatory equity. And by that I mean large firms, large investment firms that purposefully buy buildings with low-income residents, with rent-regulated residents, with the goal of renovating the building, renovating apartments, flipping those apartments, right? And pushing those low-income residents out in favor of market rate folks, higher income folks that will pay a higher rate, right? And that's definitely something that's grown in Lower Manhattan in the years since September 11. It's something it's really been picking up speed since, as the economy is changing post-recession, because the shape of New York City is different now. We've been organizing tenants for 10, 11 years, and tenants are facing many of the same issues that they were facing when we first started, right? Harassment from their landlords, lack of basic utilities, negligence of the apartment so that things are in disrepair, paint is chipping off the walls and so forth, unsafe conditions stemming from negligence. But now instead of the landlord behind those conditions being one individual or a small family that owns a couple of buildings, right, and is not properly taking care of their residents and their buildings, the landlord behind those conditions may be a corporation that owns 100 buildings in Manhattan and 150 in New York City, and each building has its own shadow corporation. And it's just really a beast. So, but one thing we do know is that no matter how many landlords and how many corporations there are in New York City, there are always going to be more tenants, right? And with folks on the ground, with the people in Chinatown, our power comes from being united. So we both are more, there's more of an imperative than ever to organize in this community, but also to be flexible, right? And to really dig into strategy that allows us to target these corporations and really bring what they're doing out of the shadows. To educate folks about the issue, we really just go door to door. That's the strategy. And when it comes down to it, folks don't need to be educated per se, right? They see this issue in their daily life. The knowledge is all in their personal experience, right? They can see the evidence that their neighbors are leaving the neighborhood because of higher rents, or because they've been harassed by the landlord, or because they've been offered buyouts to leave. And folks know who is behind that pattern, and folks know what the motive is there, which is profit. So we knock on doors in Chinatown every week, twice a week, sometimes more, and we hold meetings here at our office. We help form tenant associations in buildings and hold meetings in those buildings. We bring tenants out here and have tenant association meetings here, or bring together our tenant members with folks from other housing groups, and once a month, every month, we have our sort of general membership meeting where we get a broad group of folks together here to talk about what's happening in Chinatown right now, and to train folks on their rights, ways they can get repairs if they need them, get heat and hot water if they need them, ways that they can, call 311 and report conditions in their building, or even, advocate for city legislation, state legislation that's going to better protect people like themselves.